You're right, everyone, welcome back to the Hammer and Talk 2 YouTube channel. I wanted to speak about Mkhitaryan, or Mkhitaryan as some people like to pronounce it. His form at Manchester United, the rumours going around his move. I cannot believe, personally, I cannot believe, the speculation around this guy's future. Dortmund are interested in him and re-signing him back to his old club. Inter Milan are also interested in getting him. Now, I want to speak a little bit about this guy, and I can only speak from experiences. I mean, I've seen him play in the flesh. For me, he's a real top quality player. He's got great, well, he's got for me, incredible amounts of creativity. He has such a good, intelligent footballing brain. He really understands it, and his form was dropped. Now, this is the rumour has it is Jose Mourinho's tactics was a real big part of this form drop. Now, he had to do a lot of defensive duties. I think it was during like November, December time, early November, and he had to do a lot of backtracking, which obviously, he couldn't keep on going back forward. It was limiting the amount of time he could go forward. Now, he was kind of, in my opinion, this is that him going backtracking, doing all that work for Mourinho, doing that thing, really did limit him. And I do think that, some players, there are some players out there in the world. I mean, I've experienced Dimitri Payet, the way he played, and it's like he can go forward. He looks fantastic going forward. The players all want to bomb forward when he goes. When he gets the ball, the players are all just bombing, and the options are just opening left, right, and centre. But they don't like to backtrack. And for me, like I say, the experience of Payet, thinking of Payet backtracking, it's just it's almost unimaginable. It just never happened. There's other players out there there's very similar. So for me, I think that maybe the fault does rely on Mourinho more than it does Mkhitaryan, because Mkhitaryan was, I'm just going to call him both names in this. I'm going to call him Mkhitaryan and Mkhitaryan. But for me, I was watching him. When the start of the season, he was on fire. He was brilliant. He was their main man down the middle. He's putting in performances in the the European trophies, Champions League, like the early stages. He was putting in performances in the Premier League. It really solidified his chance, and then it just really dropped. Now, this is the crazy thing. During like early November and now December time, his performances have dropped as far as Jose Mourinho is concerned. But check this out: both times he played in the Armenia matches, he scored both goals because he's not being told by the Armenian manager to backtrack, to do that job, because the Armenian national squad have players to do that already. So I think maybe this could be a fault of Mourinho, that Manchester United could lose a really good player here, and obviously the teams like Inter Milan and Dortmund, the teams that he's being linked with, he's still highly thought of throughout the football game. There's big teams, that really big global teams, that want that player back. And obviously, I think it said a 35-40 million pound Manchester United are asking for him. Now, for me, to have a player like that, and to basically just put him in the shadows, and especially when it comes to their own fault as Mourinho doing his tactics, I think it's quite a liberty to be demanding that kind of money. For Mkhitaryan, what is he, like 28 now? And if you're going to if you're going to play a player poorly, or not play to his strengths, and you're going to really limit his amount of game time on the pitch, you shouldn't be asking for, in my opinion, a full amount, because I think that is pretty much full value for Mkhitaryan. I think he is, on his best day, I think he's probably worth about 35-40 million. That's just my opinion. But where does this leave West Ham United? I'm always talking about West Ham. Fucking now I'm calling everyone West Ham fans. But where does this leave Manchester United fans? Right, that's it. I said it. Manchester United fans. Where does it leave them? What are they thinking about this? Are they going to miss him if he goes? I mean, if I was a Manchester United fan, I would be really missing him. I wouldn't want him to leave. I'd want Mourinho to change his tactics. For me, like I'd want to play to his strengths, because as far as I was concerned, when Mkhitaryan was playing there, he was opening the whole game up for the squad. Everyone knew what he was doing. Everyone knew that he could pick them out. He could pick a ball out. He done silky skills. He's just a real classy little player. And for me, I just think that if Manchester United do get rid of him, who are they going to bring in that's as skillful and as creative as him? Who are they going to bring in? Because we know that there are other players, that are similar, like creativity-wise, like Mao, but Matt's not got the pace of Mkhitaryan. He hasn't got that direct running towards the penalty spot. You know, he likes to pass about, pick out that little ball, you know, behind the fence. Kind of similar like to David Silva. So I don't know. For Manchester United fans, this could be a little bit worrying, but I'd love to know their opinion on this. I really, really would. For all neutrals, would you take Mkhitaryan at your club? Would you? I mean, for West Ham, I would love Mkhitaryan at West Ham. Obviously, I would. You know, but he wouldn't come to us. That's way unrealistic. But you know, for him and Lanzini, they're very similar, you know, the way they're in that central attacking role. They like to create things, they like to go forward. Difference is Lanzini does like to come back, backtrack and defend and get the ball from deep, whereas Mkhitaryan doesn't. But I wouldn't mind that at West Ham, you know, because then it'd be a very similar situation as we did with Payet. When the players up there attacking, you know, the players know exactly what he's going to do, and they know that he's going to open up the game. You know, we know that they can put that killer pass at any moment. So for me, I would love him at West Ham, but would you love him at your football club? That's to all the neutrals out there. Alright, put your thoughts down below. I always want to know. Anyway, I'm gone. There should be loads and loads, by the way, of transfer speculation videos coming up in the January transfer window. I'm just going to be bombing down loads of rumours, all my opinions on all of those players, going to different teams, players leaving their clubs, players joining. I'm going to be putting all the videos in this channel. I'm going to do a couple of West Ham ones on the main channel, but I'm going to be doing all of the Premier League, especially the big bad transfers that come in. I know not many come in January, but the most of the main transfers will be on this channel. Alright, anyway people, I am gone. Comment, like, subscribe, and as always, keep sharing my stuff. I'll see you all later.